I mean, we're 90 minutes of live television by a group of 20-year-olds who've never made anything. Do you ever stop and wonder why they said yes? A counterculture show starring total unknowns with zero narrative and even less structure.
Hello, Outlaw Nation, and welcome to this review for Saturday night, this brand new film that's out from Jason Reitman. I am so excited to talk about this movie, and before I do, I just want to remind you all to please subscribe to the channel down below and hit that bell button. Okay, let's get into this movie here. I went and saw it yesterday, and I have to say, I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of this thing. I'm a big SNL fan, so I should say that right up front. I've been watching the SNL for so long, gone back and watched the early seasons of SNL as a completist, and just thoroughly have enjoyed this institution. Yeah, there have been up years, there have been down years, but certainly it's an institution to be respected for its longevity. So we go back in this movie basically 90 minutes before the first show. We're following Gabriel Labelle, who plays Lorne Michaels here, as he's trying to make this all happen, corral the actors, deal with all the issues with production, troubleshoot those issues that come up, glad hand the advertisers and the affiliates, make sure everybody is happy and ready to go to launch this thing. And also, he's got to deal with the network, who is ready to play a taped episode of Johnny Carson if that thing doesn't get off the ground in time. It's a fantastically interesting film exploring this night. Now, I know a lot of this stuff because I've read Live from New York. If you haven't read that, that is a must read if you're an SNL fan. It goes behind the scenes from the mouths of the people who were there, both in front of and behind the camera and up in the production offices. So I knew some of the stuff going in, but there's other things that happened throughout the movie that I'm sure they took creative license with, but I didn't know about. So it was nice to discover that throughout the film. And I thought Jason Reitman's direction is really good in this movie. It takes you through the stages of how this all comes about, from Lorne to Dick Ebersol to all the different actors who are going to be a part of the Not Ready for Primetime Players, and some interesting other people that get involved in this one. Billy Crystal, there's someone playing Billy Crystal in this. Milton Berle, J.K. Simmons doing an incredible job as Milton Berle. And so having this battle, it reminds you of what it must have been like back then, where you had the counterculture movement now coming in, getting a show late on a Saturday night, and damn if it didn't work in the end, and it became this institution. The human elements that are going on, the relationships that are going on between the people here that we get a little window into and buy into because of the wonderful performances in this movie. And we should definitely start, as I said, with Gabriel Labelle, who is incredible here as Lorne Michaels. Really like the confidence and the strength and the vulnerability he shows throughout this entire movie, playing those little moments of emotion with the people in his life and with the actors that he's trying to get into, or the performers, should I say, that he's trying to get into the right frame of mind to be able to show up and do what they need to do, and a crew or a production team that at times is working against trying to get this thing off. I think Rachel Sennett is fantastic in this movie as Rosie Schuster, his wife, who is also having relationships or has connections with these performers, every bit as important as Lorne in her own way to make this happen. I think Cooper Hoffman, yet another movie where I enjoy his performance. You know, I'm not a Licorice Pizza fan. I don't like that movie for a lot of reasons. But I think Cooper does an excellent job in that film, and he continues here. There's a bravado with him here as Dick Ebersol. That was really surprised to see. He seems to have grown so much from Licorice Pizza. Ella Hunt here as Gilda Radner is certainly fine for the amount of screen time that she gets. Corey Michael Smith is great as Chevy Chase. For those of you who don't know the history of Chevy Chase, he was quite a cocky bastard at this time and certainly was being tapped to for more in the world of entertainment. And there are two standout scenes. Him and John Belushi get into it in the makeup room, and also later him and J.K. Simmons as Milton Berle. That scene is the standout scene of the movie, so look for that when you go see the movie. Emily Farren as Lorraine Newman is fine for the moments that she gets to shine. Matt Wood as John Belushi is good, certainly a good Belushi for this particular film. I don't know if he'd be a great Belushi because there's not a lot of Belushi in the movie. It's memorable the time he gets, but you don't get a lot. So I would have liked to have seen more from Matt Wood as John Belushi. That would have been fun to see as well. Lamorne Morris as Garrett Morris, so good in the movie, getting a couple of standout scenes. Him up there with Kim Matula, who's playing Jane Curtin, up in the stands. Their back and forth, I think, is a great back and forth. And later, when he's talking with Billy Preston's band, that's a scene to watch out for as well. I think Matula is great as Jane Curtin. I'm sorry, for me, she's one of those people I had never seen her work before, but there was a confidence and an ease to her playing Jane Curtin that I think did a really great job of bringing to life Jane Curtin for us. But to me, the standout is Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien as Dan Aykroyd is fantastic. I hope this wakes casting directors and studios and directors up to the talent of Dylan O'Brien. He disappears into Dan Aykroyd and he delivers a wonderful performance here, not just doing the jokes and the skits and the sketches and all of that, but also in the moments he has with Rosie Schuster, in the moments he has with Lorraine Newman, with the moments that he has here throughout the movie with different people that really highlight who he is. So I hope more people see Dylan and want to cast him and stuff because he deserves it. A film Wolfhard is certainly fine in the movie as NBC Page gets his chance to do certain scenes. Nicholas Braun playing Andy Kaufman and Jim Henson does a great job playing both of these characters. I have a friend of mine who didn't like him playing both of the characters, but I think it works because you couldn't find more extreme, interesting people than Jim Henson and Andy Kaufman, yet find similarities with them as well, surprising similarities. And I think he does a great job playing both of them and bringing them to life. Matthew Rhys is George Carlin, another standout, not in the movie a lot, but when he shows up, he certainly commands every scene that he's in. And Willem Dafoe, that's why you bring the energy like this. He's so good as this NBC talent guy who is in charge of this whole overall operation on the ground. He has the right amount of creepiness and then weird kind of support for Lorne Michaels. It's a fascinating portrayal that Willem Dafoe delivers here.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, tripped over my penis.
The writing throughout, I think, is very enjoyable, and I like the back and forth, and it gives us a window into these relationships. There's a really sweet scene with Gilda Radner and John Belushi ice skating out there in front of Rockefeller Plaza, but my criticisms here are that we don't get enough time with these not ready for primetime players. Well, unless you know the story, and I went in with all the story, I know these guys have read their biographies, but for people who coming in, maybe they don't have all that information, and so there's not enough here to get you to understand and really buy into these relationships. And I wonder if maybe they could have used a tactic of going back and having flashback scenarios of them meeting for the first time, them coming up with these sketches, working stuff out. And I also think just like with the not ready for primetime players in real life, we don't get enough time with Gilda Radner, Lorraine Newman, and Jane Curtin. There are moments where they stand out and we get to see them stand out, but there's not enough moments for us to get to know these ladies, get to know what's going on overall. So that's really my only criticisms in the movie. I think it's directed well, written well, and acted really well by everybody involved in the film. So overall, I give the film 4 out of 5 cowboy hats because I just really enjoyed myself in the theater. I found myself being taken along with this. I think the tension they build throughout works really well, and the pacing and the madness of all the crazy things that happen, especially for those of us who've been on crazy productions. We know all the insanity that can happen before opening night. Well, if you get a chance to go see it, let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. Did you like it? Did it work for you? Or did the film not work for you? Let me know what didn't work for you. Let me know what you had issues with. Well, thanks for watching this review of Saturday Night. I appreciate you all madly, and look for more reviews coming soon here on the Outlaw Nation. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content from the Outlaw Nation.